So our panel moderator is Dr. Jill Temple, as everyone now knows. Dr. Temple is Associate Professor and Chair ad interim of Religious Studies at Southern Methodist University. Her academic work focuses on the intersection of religion and international economic development, Latin American religion, and theory and method in the study of religion. She is the author of Cement, Earthworms, and Cheese Factories, Religion and Community Development in Ecuador, and is currently a principal investigator on a multi-institutional study examining the use of dialogue to promote intellectual humility, conviction, and curiosity in classrooms. Dr. Temple, we are honored to have you moderate our esteemed panel today. Please extend a warm welcome to Dr. Temple as she begins our panel discussion.
Thank you all so much. This is really a treat to be here. And it's also my privilege to introduce this outstanding panel and then to get things rolling with a few questions for each of them. So I'll introduce you one by one and then we'll get going. So first, as you've already met, Rabbi Andrew Mark Paley. In addition to what you know about him, he's also on the steering committee for Faith Forward Dallas. And as of March, he tells me he is a police chaplain and is on the mayor's task force on poverty. These are really impressive credentials. Next, we have the Reverend Eric Folker, who has been pastor of North Haven United Methodist Church in Dallas since 2001. He served 11 years as associate pastor at Highland Park United Methodist Church in Dallas. At North Haven, during his tenure, the new church building has been constructed and more than 250 new members have joined, which I can tell you in an era of declining church attendance is really impressive. Eric has led or co-led hundreds of persons on mission trips around the globe to places such as Mexico, Haiti, Russia, and Nepal. He has worked with laypersons to build 10 homes and 1 community center in partnership with Habitat for Humanity in Dallas. Next, and filling in at the very last moment, we have Sahil Kalani, who is a refugee resettlement case manager for Catholic Charities here in Dallas. Prior, he was an intern for the IRC. In addition to all of this good work, he is also working towards his master's degree in social work at the University of Texas at Arlington. Welcome. Then we have Bill Holston, who is the Executive Director of the Human Rights Initiative of North Texas. An Alabama native, Bill began practicing law with Sullivan and Holston Law Firm. Bill, also an avid human rights advocate, joined HRI's team as a pro bono volunteer attorney, where he litigated multiple asylum trials in an immigration court. In 2005, Bill was awarded the Angel of Freedom Award by Human Rights Initiative of North Texas. Next, we have Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins. Since taking office in 2011, Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins has become a strong voice for a stronger and more welcoming North Texas. Through his leadership, Dallas County continues to guide national conversation towards moral and compassionate responses to difficult challenges. He has strengthened partnerships with the cities and independent school districts and brought steady leadership to county government, helping to ensure that Dallas County becomes a more welcoming community. Judge Jenkins has been an outstanding advocate for working class people, and he has fought for expanded health coverage in Dallas County and throughout the state of Texas. Judge Jenkins played a vital role, you'll probably remember, in America's Ebola outbreak, establishing the national standard for subsequent and future responses. Earlier this year, Judge Jenkins worked to secure the release of 11 passengers who were detained at DFW Airport, caught up in the initial Muslim travel ban. Judge Jenkins is a public official who fights for working people and whose acumen and unparalleled compassion have revitalized the office of Dallas County Judge. Next, and moving to the front row, we have Dr. Faith Nibbs, who is the founding director of the Forced Migration Upward Mobility Project here in Dallas. This grew out of her previous appointment as a research assistant professor at Southern Methodist University. Her research and publications focus on the understanding of refugees and how they use their own skills, talents, and entrepreneurship to create more sustainable livelihoods. Then we have Khalida Yasmin, who is an MD. She's a family physician who has lived in Dallas since 1998 and worked with refugee families for the last 7 years with Parkland Health and Hospital System. She's currently director of the INAT Charity Clinic, which has served the uninsured since 1999. She also serves as president of Texas Academy of Family Physicians, the Dallas chapter. Then we have Gazwan Abdullah, who is the community liaison officer at Seek for Peace, and is also a refugee case manager at Mosaic Family Services. He and his family spent 10 years in Jordan as refugees as they fled their country of Iraq in 2005. During those years, Gazwan got involved with a nonprofit to help refugees provide food and necessities for their families as a refugee himself. Gazwan and his family were resettled to the United States, specifically here in Dallas, in January of 2015. And finally, we have Fadi Makzoum, who is a former refugee from Homs, Syria, who escaped the civil unrest with his mother Reem, father Mohammed, and 4 siblings ages 9 to 18. Today, Fadi is known for his helpfulness and politeness, and often translates English for his father as they share their story. So please give a warm welcome. Now that you've met them and know just a little bit about them, let me say a little more about how we'll proceed, and then we'll get going. So for the first half of this panel, we have some prearranged questions that I will direct towards specific speakers. I'll hand you a microphone. And I will ask the panelists to keep your responses to 2 minutes, which I will time most mercilessly with my phone. And this is a very short time, so please bear with me when I need to move on to the next respondent. We want to be sure to hear from each of you. The second half of the panel, and this is where you all get involved, will feature questions from you. So I think you've been told how to do this. Somewhere over there that I can't see, that Tiffany's pointing towards. And in this way, we'll sort of proceed along with things that you would like to ask so you can better get to know them and connect with them. So, with that, let us get started. My first question, or the questions that we've arranged for, are directed towards Rabbi Paley and the Reverend Fulkerts, starting over here. And the question is this: what can a community of faith do as a practical matter to be a welcoming and just community? Specifically, can you give us an example from your own congregation that audience members and the community use as a model? So we'll start with you, Rabbi Paley.
Look, I think the first part of the answer comes in understanding the compulsion that we have and the command to respond and to be involved. And it's not just a thing that we should feel once in a while or on occasion or as the crisis may emerge, but as a fundamental outlook on how we view the world and how we interact with those around us. So I think faith communities have a significant role to play in providing, number one, instant community for those who are seeking. And I'm sure Reverend Volkert will agree that our our doors, as we try to do, are open to the extent that that's possible, that makes sense. And so that people who are coming to our community for whatever reason know that there's a place for them in various settings across the religious landscape. One of the things that we at Temple Shalom have tried to do on occasion is to be involved in several different aspects all at once. Number one, helping to furnish apartments, for example, and provide for the basic needs that refugees might experience immediately upon their arrival to our community. We also are involved in helping those who need support for language assistance and sort of navigating the quite complex ways of sort of settling into the community, just sort of being and living in normal day activities. It's quite a checklist, of course, to find out, but most importantly, to provide sort of a psychological and an emotional support. That there are people who across the world care about what's going on, and if we can do that, in addition to the monetary and other things, then I think we can really do it.
I think a faith community, a faith leader like we are, and a faith community in general, the first thing you have to do is build support, really, for a new initiative. It's very easy for a pastor or a single leader to say, hey, I think this is a good idea, but to really build something from a congregation, that was the question that we had. From a congregational point of view, we really have to build that support within our own communities. And I think that starts, it seems to me, Rabbi Paley focused on this, starts with going back to our own faith stories. Each one of the world's great religions have very clear mandate about reaching out to the stranger, welcoming the stranger. In fact, I've preached several times in the past few months. Jesus tells a story. He goes to see his hometown crowd one day, and they're so happy to see him because he's the hometown boy. He says, well, back in the day, the prophet was sent to a Syrian, specifically a Syrian, a guy named Naaman the Syrian, Jesus says. And at that point, the hometown crowd gets pretty angry with him, says they want to throw Jesus off the cliff. And so we have to continue to tell these stories that Jesus in Christianity, the Torah, the Islamic tradition, all speak to welcoming the stranger, reaching out to those beyond your own religion, your own faith. So you have to build that case. So how do you do it? I think you have to have a preacher who is willing to embrace that, is willing to take on that challenge, preach about it from the pulpit, invite in refugee groups, invite in people of other faiths. So for example, at our place, we have a regular series called the Second Community Series, which is an interfaith series that we have people of different faiths who come in so that we can hear each other's stories. We can hear people of different faiths, different religion, different countries, and develop our compassion. How's that?
Our next question goes to Bill Holston. Would you contrast the status of asylum seekers and refugees and describe the unique needs of asylum seekers?
Yes, I will. So for 17 years, Human Rights Initiative of North Texas has been fighting for the legal rights of asylum seekers. Asylum seekers, as shown in this chart up here, are people that meet the same legal definition as refugees. That is, they're persecuted because of their faith, religion, nationality, political opinion, or their membership in a particular social class. But they have to prove that here in the United States, not identified by the United Nations overseas. And how, you may ask, do they do that? Well, it's very difficult. They have to go to immigration court, where they're represented one of our 300 great pro bono lawyers, like Red Allen right there, or you have to go to the Houston Asylum Office. There are two challenges I want to present. One is that there is an increased use of detention of asylum seekers. Asylum seekers are crossing the border, being placed in detention centers, a fancy word for jail. And they're in jail while their cases are pending, and way away from lawyers. And second, there is huge backlog. So for instance, the people who that we represented who applied for asylum affirmatively filed in 2014, and they've been waiting for their cases all that time. And now that presents the challenge to you as a community. Asylum seekers, unlike refugees, have none social services available to them. That's housing, clothing, food, medical care. All of that has to be done by agencies like ours, trying to form community partnerships with people like Agape Clinic or other organizations. And it is very, very challenging. I'll give you one example of a faith community and what they did that made a huge difference. City Church in Fort Worth started Dallas Asylum Seeker Housing. They have housed all of our asylum seekers for the last 5 years in Tarrant County. There's nothing like that in Dallas County. So for our clients, they are scrambling. They're living with community members. They're living with friends and family, and that's where you come in. Thank you.